Do you hate it when people ask you what you want to be when you grow up?
Or maybe you love it because you think you know exactly what is coming next.
In this video, we're going to be asking you to think about what is coming next.
And we're going to suggest some different ways to start thinking about your future. The world is changing, and what you want now may not be the same in the future, which is why choosing what job you want can be tough.
Exactly. The jobs that are popular today might not be when you become an adult. Think about the jobs that our parents had.
Like working in a high street bank.
How many of them would be a good choice today?
So, what does it mean if you can't predict what career you'll have?
Does it mean you won't be successful if you can't plan ahead?
It's okay not to know what you want to do when you're growing up. I didn't decide until I was 16.
Until I was 18, I didn't know what I wanted to do until I decided I wanted to work in the construction industry.
I think it was unusual when I was at the age of 13 that I already made up my mind of what I wanted to do.
I was 14 when I decided to be an entrepreneur.
I think teenagers should spend some time working on themselves, finding what they're passionate about.
You all know Steve Jobs, right?
You mean the founder and creator of Apple?
Yeah, him. Well, Mr. Jobs definitely didn't know what job he wanted when he grew up. In fact, when he was around your age, he was interested in philosophy and English, and even went to study it at university. Does this say he didn't know he was going into business?
I'm sure if you had asked him at the time if he would go on to be the founder of the world's largest tech company, he probably wouldn't have believed you.
Exactly, and he definitely wasn't the only one.
Here are some other people who are not so sure about their futures until later on. Scarlett Moffat was going to be a beauty therapist and is now a TV presenter.
Gordon Ramsay was a professional footballer, signed up at 15 before becoming a famous chef.
Steph McGovern was an engineer and is now on BBC Breakfast.
J.K. Rowling was a researcher and is now a famous author.
Colonel Sanders used to be a lawyer.
And Barack Obama used to sell ice cream.
Our careers are a large and important part of our future. However, as we've seen, the future doesn't always work out how we think it will.
The question is, knowing all that, what can we do about it? When we're young, we look at the people around us for inspiration. How to act, what to wear, and maybe what career to choose.
I truly wanted to be a fireman or in the army or be a farmer.
I wanted to be an air hostess when I was little.
I obviously dreamed of being a footballer, like every other boy.
I wanted to be a psychologist.
I wanted to be either a vet, an English teacher, or like a writer.
Subjects I'm interested in at school is history and business studies.
I liked food tech and health and social care.
English, French, drama, history.
What I was interested in was drama, science and sports.
When I was 12, I was looking at going into sport and physiotherapy. Then when it came to I was about 17, picking A levels, I changed wanting to go into finance.
The subjects I'm really interested in is in PE, English and science.
My role model is Zaha Hadid. She built the aquatic centre for the Olympics.
I think role models are very important, and I think just having someone to look up to gives you something to strive towards.
One of my biggest role models is one of my teachers, Julia. She's amazing. She gave me a new look on how I perceive education as well.
I definitely think everyone should have a role model. Having that someone you could ask questions to, look up to, someone with that experience, it makes a massive difference.
Parents, friends, family, and other important figures all influence our decisions. Whether you want to be a YouTube star or a vet,
or a football player or an accountant, it's very likely role models played a big part in influencing your choice.
So, to sum this all up, not everyone, in fact, most people don't know what they want to be when they grow up.
And if they do, it doesn't always work out that way anyway. And that's okay.
Plenty of successful people's careers took very unexpected turns, and it still worked out pretty well for them. If everything is changing in the world of work, what is the point of trying to nail it all down now?
If you don't know what you want to be, is there anything you can be doing to help you decide?
We all have strengths, things that we're good at, how we handle situations and cope with problems.
While the world around us might change, what you're good at now is likely to remain a strength in the future. So, linking your strengths to what potential employers might be looking for will give you an even better idea of what career could be right for you.
Today is a really great place to start to find out what you're good at. Knowing what we're good at can be tough.
Yeah, and the key thing to remember is a strength doesn't have to be linked to what you do at school.
We all have strengths. Even if you think it's irrelevant and doesn't count, it still forms a part of you and can be a good indicator of what you might want to do in the future.
For example, enjoying talking to people might not seem all that important when thinking about your career.
But it will probably mean you don't want to be stuck looking at a computer screen all day and not talking to anyone.
But preferring your own space to focus on a task could mean you'd like a more structured career, such as coding.
My key strengths are organisation, communicating with my friends.
My key strengths in life is I can adapt, I listen, I learn, I communicate well, work well in a team.
Time management and confidence.
I'm very well organised, knowing what I need to do and when to do it.
My key strengths are that I never give up, I always try to improve myself, and I take criticism.
Okay, so now we have an idea of what a strength is. Let's look at what employers are looking for.
Obviously, this will change depending on the role.
We could all list hard-working, turning up on time and being professional as strengths an employer would want, but it isn't always as straightforward as that.
For example, Google, who receive over 2 million job applications per year, have a list of 12 strengths that they look for in potential employees.
This list includes grit, which they say is not always taking the easy route. How many of you would have listed that before hearing this?
My favourite was googliness, which is essentially the ability to deal with change and being okay not knowing exactly how the future will play out.
That sounds familiar.
Exactly.
It's also worth asking those around you what they think you're good at. And finally, don't assume what you're good at isn't what employers are looking for. If one of the biggest companies in the world value grit, then maybe you should start valuing it in yourself.
I think employers really value teamwork.
Employers today really want a person that's willing to do whatever it takes to succeed.
Employers nowadays are looking for confidence and willpower and just trying your hardest.
I think employers are looking for someone that's just going to work hard. I mean, you don't need to have a qualification for everything. As long as you're good at what you're doing, you listen, you learn, and you just put your head down really, just stay focused.
I think what employers are looking for today is passion. I mean, if you don't love what you're doing, then what's the point in doing it?
What do you care about most? Is it money?
Or do you care about having free time? Do you really want to travel?
Or do you want to help people and do something that you feel is making a real difference?
By knowing what we want out of our career and life, we can start to make those decisions right now. Everyone will make a different decision about what is important to them. For me, the most important thing was being creative and getting to work with loads of different people.
For me, the key to a successful career is wanting to go to work because I'm doing something that I enjoy, and that was something I didn't want to compromise on.
Understanding what a career can help you achieve will help you take the first steps to get there.
Thinking about the most important things you want in your career can be the key in making your decision.
What I really want from my career is a job that can keep me motivated and to have a lot of free time, earn a lot of money, and just work hard on something that I enjoy.
For my career, I would love to be successful, go travelling, just to see the world really, be great.
My dream is to build my own bridge, like design a bridge, have something there, saying I designed it or I worked on it.
When I'm older, I like to earn a lot of money, but also I like to help people and give money to charity.
The most important things I want from my career is a good balanced life with working and social life, but also I want to be very comfortable with money.
So, there we are.
By now, you should have it all figured out exactly what you want to be.
Have you not listened to anything we've just said?
Okay, by now it's absolutely okay that you don't know exactly what you want to be.
We hope that we've given you some useful information today.
Use the people around you. Take on board what's been discussed.
And remember that you have a whole world of opportunities open to you.